Recorded live from the heart of the Bakken, it's the Williston Works Podcast.
Welcome to the Williston Works Podcast, brought to you by the City of Williston, North Dakota. Williston Works brings you in-depth discussions with the entrepreneurs, small business owners, and investors who are getting it done in Western North Dakota. I'm your host, Sean Wenko, Executive Director of the Williston Economic Development Office, and today's guest I have with us is Tanner Overland. He is the owner of Overland Aviation. Tanner, great to have you on our show today.
Happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, so a little bit of talk about Overland Aviation. You're going to be in charge, or you're going to have the operations for the FBO at the new XWA International Airport. Can you explain a little bit FBO, what that means, and what the operation will do?
Yeah, absolutely. So anything aviation, obviously there's a lot of acronyms. So FBO is a fixed base operator. So essentially it's really everything aviation. So it's separate from the commercial terminal, be it the commercial airlines, Delta, United, what have you. But really we're a service industry, and we provide everything from ground service, hangar, flight instruction, charter, aircraft maintenance, to the airport, whether it be a general aviation aircraft, so it could be a little 2-seat piston airplane, or it could be a corporate private jet, pumping fuel, selling fuel, refueling the airlines, as well as corporate aircraft. It's really just kind of your one-stop shop for everything aviation out at the airport.
Your background is aviation, correct? I mean, because I believe you're from Williston, North Dakota, correct?
Yep.
And so you've been with the current airport, or doing operations at the current airport right now. What are you doing right there now?
Yeah. So just a little bit of history as far as Overland Aviation, or even before that. Born and raised in Williston. Went to school over in Grand Forks at their aviation program. Top notch, great program over there. Ended up graduating with a degree in commercial aviation, and I was looking at 2009, 2010, when things weren't really happening as far as the economy, especially in the aviation industry. Things are pretty slow, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do after college. So it was like Thursday night, like 10 o'clock, just sitting in our college dorm or college apartment. And just so happened to send an application over here to the airport, to the FBO at the time. And like I said, it was about 10:30 on a Thursday night, and I got a call at about 11 p.m. Just said, "Hey, can you be here tomorrow for an interview?" And I said, "What have I got myself into?" So I ended up coming over here for the interview, and the interview was actually a bank had hired someone out here at the airport to repossess an airplane in Wyoming. And so I showed up, not really knowing what to expect, and before I knew it, I pre-flighted the airplane with the manager at the time, the FBO manager, and we were in an airplane on the way to Wyoming to repossess an airplane for the bank, and got down to Wyoming, and manager just said, "Good job, you're hired. Fill all these fill the paperwork out, and let's go back to Williston." So. That's kind of how it got started. That was back in 2010, and so I started flight instructing, pumping gas, working behind the desk out there in 2010, and really since then I've just had the opportunity to really work through all the positions really at the airport on the GA side, from flight instructing to aerial pipeline patrol, aerial photography. And so in 2011, that's actually when I founded Overland Aviation. It's been a pretty unique opportunity, and really excited for the future.
Well, the future we talk about, if people aren't aware, and if you're living under a rock, then you probably aren't aware. But we're currently, we're under construction, going to open very shortly. Is the new XWA Airport, which is a $260+ million project. And it's by far probably one of the largest construction projects in the history of Williston that we're seeing. This is a game changer for Williston, I believe, from economic development. Because when we talk about economic development, transportation really is key. And when we can do something with what we're doing with the XWA Airport, it's going to be a big deal for us.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about the FBO, what's going to be different from what's currently offered now, going up to a larger footprint to what you're going to offer? what can people look forward to in this new FBO?
Absolutely. So obviously, anytime you increase, like you said, the transportation needs and the transportation services, from the get-go, we'll bring back air charter to Williston. We haven't had air charter here for quite a while. So we'll bring back those the air charter opportunities, air charter aircraft. Also with that, just increased services. So currently, we're not able to handle traffic from outside of Canada internationally. And so the Williston Basin International Airport, the international designation actually is for the general aviation side of it, or essentially the FBO. So inside co-located inside our facility will be a customs facility. And what we'll be providing in that customs operation is we'll actually be providing on-site incineration for international garbage, international waste. And this will really open up the door to aircraft, really open up the door to Williston for aircraft from all over the world. We did have a time back in 2010, 2012 when it was much busier, and we had a mode of exporting the international garbage for proper disposal. We don't have that anymore. But at the new airport, we'll have on-site incineration, and so we'll welcome the aircraft from, say, either Europe or essentially all over the world. And our team members really have a unique position, really being the liaisons of the community. There's a short time frame, maybe it's only 20, 30-minute time frame that an aircraft lands, international aircraft lands, it gives us their international garbage, clears customs, and refuels. But for that short 20 or 30-minute time frame, our team can really shine a light, if you will, as far as what our community offers. And if they're here a little bit longer and they go grab a bite to eat or go check out downtown, it really helps paint a picture of the opportunities that this area provides.
Well, and that, it gets lost a lot, I think, out there when we're talking about the new airport, is it does have that international designation, and that's pretty unique. And you don't think about those sort of things, of what you have to have when you're coming in through customs, like burning garbage or incineration. Yeah. And we're going to have those capabilities, yep, which is pretty cool. One final question to you, Tanner. So, talking about the FBO and your investment with Overland Aviation, it's one thing we always love about Williston is the entrepreneurial spirit, and you did it, you went after it, you went up against some big companies, that had been around a lot longer than Overland Aviation, but you got it. Yeah. It's a big project, but what advice would you offer to investors, developers, that are entrepreneurs that are looking at coming into this market and doing something? Absolutely.
A big help for us was just truly knowing your customers, knowing your clientele, and knowing the community. With that is really the Small Business Development Center here. Keith Olson, your office was a huge asset, a huge help for our project. Just really helping kind of put some of the numbers together, and the FlexPace program that you guys offer here, the interest buy down to the Bank of North Dakota, utilizing the resources that the community offers to really improve the quality of life here is.
Yeah, well, the FlexPace program is the biggest program that we utilize in the office, and we have a lot of support from the leadership here. Our local lenders like it because it helps mitigate some of the risks that you see out there with business development. And a lot of projects, to be honest with you, don't get off the ground without that FlexPace that's in there. So that's a big program for us. We thank the Bank of North Dakota for being a partner with us on that. And we'll continue to use that. We'll use that every day. So, well, Tanner, we look forward to seeing you at the new XWA International Airport. Thanks again for your time. Thanks for listening to the Williston Works podcast, brought to you by the City of Williston. If you're a developer, business owner, entrepreneur, or site selector and would like to learn more about the opportunities in Williston, give us a call and we'll help you make it happen. Like and subscribe for more podcasts, and to learn more about Williston, visit willistondevelopment.com. I'm Sean Wenko, Executive Director of the Williston Economic Development Office. We will see you next time.